Welcome to Cinemasaurus Rex. I'm Rocket, and this week we're talking about Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Now, bit of a mixed bag with this one, because whilst there's a lot of new fights, monsters fighting each other, there's a fair few fights in this. I think there's about 4 different fights in this one, and there's plenty of explosions, lots going on. What does let it down though is the story, and it's a bit of a shame really, because if it wasn't for that, I could really recommend and get behind it. I mean, I could still recommend it for the action and the fights, but for the story, not so much. Now we start off with a funky opening. This music, it's like some jazz music from the Coco Bongo. It's like something from The Mask, and it's all jazzy and blues. I mean, we're in the mid-70s at this point, so you got to get behind that. Title comes on, nice little title that coming on the screen, and then we start off with this woman. She's singing some kind of little song outside of a village, and then she faints because she sees these flashing images, and the flashing images are definitely Ghidorah. They're definitely Ghidorah. But well, that's besides the point, because Ghidorah isn't in this film. She says, "Oh no, a giant monster is going to attack and destroy the world." That's all she said. She says, "When you see the black clouds of the mountain and the sun rising on the west, you know monster will come, kill people, die Earth." And she faints and does all that business. We then cut to this woman who's doing some kind of archaeological dig or something. Don't really know, to be honest. But anyway, she comes across this King Caesar statue. And she's like, "Oh, look at this. This is all jazzy." And he says, "I wonder what it says. I can't read whatever that hieroglyphics are. We'll have to go find a professor and get him to read it to us." So she's jumping on a plane, and the guy that just seen this woman faint, he's also on that same plane. And they have a little chat about this little King Caesar, and he's like, "Hey, it could be worth a bob or two, that, get it on eBay." So this woman and this chap, they go to the professor. They think, "Right, let's have this King Caesar analysed, let's have a see if someone can read it." So this chap, he's looking at it, he's like, "Don't really know what it is, don't really know, to be honest, I can't really read it. So you better speaking to another professor, because I'm not good at this." And at that point, this other bloke comes in, and he's trying to rob the statue, he's got a gun. A little fight occurs, they knock the gun out of his hand, and then at this point, the guy that's trying to rob it, he's having a fist fight, he's on top of him, kneeling on him, pounding away on him, and the professor's there, and he's just watching it, and he's like, he's not helping him. He's like, "Your friend's just going to die there, you're just going to let him." Doesn't help him. He then picks up the gun, he's like, what do I do? And then the other guy just fucks off. And then shoots this volcanic eruption, something going on. It's not really it's like all these flashy explosions and stuff. Really, it's just a multicoloured fireworks mixed in with some fire, and then this big rock comes. Or is it a rock? Because all of a sudden, big Godzilla comes out the ground, and it's like, whoa, has he gone heel mode here? I think he's gone back to his roots. He starts beating the shit out of this city, destroying fucking everything up. He's just going mental. He's really going for it. It's like he's got some kind of vendetta. He's really taking it out on Japan. Then Anguirus pops up out the ground, and then some chap goes, "Wait a minute, Anguirus is going to have a fight with his friend? That's not like him." It's like, "Oh, do you know Anguirus? You spoke to him. You're not seeing Godzilla raise again. You had a bloody good fight then, mate. I know they've had a couple of parts, you've had a couple of tag team matches, but don't think that they won't ever fall out again, eh? You Mr. Know-It-All." Anyway, Anguirus starts fighting with Godzilla, and he kind of cuts him, and you just see this bit of silver patch your eyes here. So, hang on a minute, a bit of sus this in a film called Godzilla vs Mechagodzilla, and Godzilla showing a bit of metal. What could happen? Anyway, Godzilla's beating the shit out of Anguirus, and then at one point starts grabbing his mouth, tearing it open, and just starts bleeding like mad. And Anguirus, he's got no broken jaw, he's just has to retreat and go on, and then Godzilla wins the fight. Not 10 minutes later, another Godzilla pops straight out of the ground, it's like he were hiding. He just jumps out of this building or something, I don't know what was going on. Looks at the other Godzilla, it's like, whoa, Godzilla versus Godzilla. It's like our second fight already. We're not even far into the film, we're getting 2 fights. And which turns out that the other Godzilla is indeed Mechagodzilla, because he starts revealing, bits of him start coming off the skin, and you can see all this metal exoskeleton. At this point, we're flashing to these evil men from space who were dressed in fancy silver suits and oh, the actual Godzilla came. Well, he's no match for our Godzilla. We'll beat him. We'll beat him until he's dead. Sounds pretty threatening. So, this point, we've definitely got it. It's a title defense, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. And they start going for it, hammer and toe, bang, smack, punching each other, putting each other through buildings, and then Godzilla goes for his atomic breath. Mechagodzilla, he goes for his eye laser beam, whatever it is, and the both lasers come like this, they kind of crash in the middle, and then we get a big explosion, wipes them both out. So Godzilla goes flying, Mechagodzilla goes down. It's a double count out. And as we all know, in a double count out situation, still your heavyweight champion is Godzilla. So they kidnap the professor, the good professor, and they're saying, you know, you need to fix our Mechagodzilla because, well, we built him, but we can't be arsed fixing him. Come on, we're trying to take over the world here, you know, we're busy people. Can you fix him? It's like, well, alright, yeah, go on, because he's been blackmailed. So he fixes it. He says, what is it? What's crack here anyway? Because it's like, he looks like Godzilla, and then he's Metal Godzilla. And he's like,
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
We then go to this image of Godzilla. He's on this like little rocky island. It's throwing it down. It's raining real bad. Lightning starts striking Godzilla, which is a bit weird. And he starts making his back all flash, and well, we're presuming he's getting stronger because that's what happens when lightning hits you, and you always get stronger. It's like, I've never seen a downside to being struck by lightning. I think everything that lightning has ever struck has only ever made it more powerful. We cut back to this couple who have got the King Caesar little statue, trying to figure out what it means and all this business. And then the same guy, he comes back, he tries to rob him yet again. He's almost successful because the woman's asleep. He sneaks into the room, gets the statue, goes out, and then he gets chased by the other guy who clocks him. He's like, hey, you little bastard. So they start having another fight. Bullets are flying. He gets shot, the robber gets shot, and then his face just kind of turns half gorilla. It's a pretty bad special effects, but we'll forgive him. It's like, oh, okay. And then the chase continues, and the fight continues, and the fighting, and then all of a sudden he gets shot in the back, this gorilla man, and falls over with the statue. The statue's lost forever, and the guy's dead. It's like, and then I was kind of wondering at this point, it's like, because we find out literally 1 minute later that the statue was a fake. They actually kept the real statue stashed somewhere else. So I'm kind of wondering why he literally risked his life and was chasing him like mad for this fake statue. It's like, you literally could have died. Like, just let him have it. If it's a fake, he's not going to figure it out, is it? So anyway, we retrieve the real statue now, and we've found out what it means. It basically, when the sun rises on the west and the mirage of it is on the east, you put this statue in a special place and it'll reveal where King Caesar is. So they go on do all this business. Put the statue on, the sun rises, it hits the statue in the eyes, its eyes start glowing, shoots a laser beam at this rock starts blowing up, then inside it is King Caesar. And to wake King Caesar up, because he's a lazy bastard, he just had a rock blown up in his face, that's not good enough to wake King Caesar up. You gotta sing to him. So this woman runs down to the beach, sings for about 3 minutes, and I mean, it's only 3 minutes. It feels like it's about 10 minutes, but it's literally because it's just watching her sing. It's like nothing's going on, nothing else is going on. We're just watching her sing to King Caesar. And whilst she's singing to King Caesar, Mechagodzilla, in the meantime, he's been fixed now, and he's been sent back to destroy the rest of Japan. And they're like, right, destroy King Caesar. So Mechagodzilla sees King Caesar, and he's walking very slowly. So it's like, then this woman's taking her time singing. You'd think she'd sing faster with sight of Mechagodzilla, but no, she just sings a little hearty. King Caesar manages to wake up just before Mechagodzilla reaches him. He breaks out of the side of a mountain, and he starts going at it. So it's now King Caesar versus Mechagodzilla. Our first one-on-one fight with no mention of Godzilla, I think. I think this is probably the first time that's happened. So, King Caesar has got this ability. Mechagodzilla shoots his eye beams. It's ineffective against King Caesar because he can reflect it back. For somehow he just like takes it into his eyes and shoots it back at him. So that's instantly Mechagodzilla's weapon out of it. However, Mechagodzilla has still got a few tricks up his sleeve. But King Caesar, he starts trying to shoulder barge him. Nothing. Anyway, Mechagodzilla then shows off his Dragon Zord like powers. He's got the finger missiles going on. It's very like Dragon Zord. I mean, Dragon Zord is he's pretty much a copy of Mechagodzilla. It's like you can see that's where it all kind of came about from. But he's got the Dragon Zord finger missiles, which is pretty cool. So Mechagodzilla beats the crap out of King Caesar and puts him down pretty easy. However, Godzilla interferes, doesn't let the match finish quite just yet. So Godzilla comes and he's stepping up. He wants his rematch, and he looks like he's gonna get his rematch, but he doesn't. So we're kind of getting a rematch, but we're not. You'll find out very shortly because Godzilla's fighting Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla firing his eye beam again, puts Godzilla down, like really puts him down. In fact, Mechagodzilla starts flying, shooting at his laser beam, and he just catches Godzilla on the neck. And I mean, he's cutting an artery or something here because Godzilla's spurting like mad. I mean, we've seen Gigan bust up Godzilla, but Mechagodzilla's done a right number on him here. Cuts his neck up right on, he's down, starts shooting his finger missiles on him, they're all stuck in him and stuff. So Godzilla's pretty fucked up at this stage. However, Godzilla gets himself to his feet, and I don't know if this is an effect of the lightning or whatever, but he starts becoming some kind of magnet, or, well, I think he's like a mutant X-Men kind of thing, because he can seem to control metal at this point. He starts doing this, and he's like, Mechagodzilla's trying to fly, and Godzilla's like this, like, come, he starts spinning him round and all this lot. So I don't know if he's also a mutant now. I don't know if that's a side effect of lightning. I don't think we'll ever see it in any other film from this point on, so I think it's just a one-off ability like he's flying. So Godzilla's regained his kind of strength or something. King Caesar picks himself up, starts ramming himself into the side of Mechagodzilla, just like shoulder barge, really going for him, whilst Godzilla's kind of got hold of him, pinned him back, and Godzilla's getting hold of his head, twists it off, his head clean off, and the robot's just stood there, destroyed and defeated. So Godzilla and King Caesar beat Mechagodzilla. Now, had this just been a one-on-one affair, Mechagodzilla would have definitely wiped out King Caesar, no doubt about it. King Caesar, I mean, the fact that he can reflect Mechagodzilla's eye beam, you'd think he might be a bit of a challenge, but other than that, not at all. It just means it's one less way for Mechagodzilla to beat the crap out of King Caesar. Any other chance? No, nothing. Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, well, Mechagodzilla definitely were getting the better of him for the majority of it. It wasn't until Godzilla developed his mutant powers that he actually got the upper hand. But if it wasn't for that mutant powers, I'd have said again that Mechagodzilla probably would have won. So it was a potential champion, Mechagodzilla. Which, well, maybe we will find out, because next week is the terror of Mechagodzilla. Now, I don't know much about this one. It's one that I've not seen again. All I know is that there's another monster in it that I've never seen before. Titanosaurus or something like that, or something like that. That sounds like, or am I just thinking of Power Rangers again? I think I might be. But there's another monster involved anyway. I'm not too sure if Anguirus makes his comeback or anything like that. But hopefully we'll get a proper title defense, because we did get a title defense in this one. I was complaining Godzilla not putting his title on the line, but he did defend it against Mechagodzilla, even though the fight wasn't very long lived. So hopefully that next week we will get Godzilla title on the line, the terror of Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla. Now,